welcome back to my channel everyone. Well, I hope you're doing great. Well, I'm back with the part 2 portion of chapter 6, Natural Vegetation and Wildlife of class 7. Well, till last day we had seen about the different physical factors, or primarily the two dominant factors for which the growth of natural vegetation is unevenly distributed, and it also affects the kind of vegetation that grows around the world. Alright, today we will deal with the next category, that is the coniferous forest. Till last day we have also seen that what are the major differentiation between the tropical rainforest, the deciduous forest, and the kind of Mediterranean vegetation that grows. Today we will deal with the coniferous forest, and then after we will look into the grasslands of the world. We had, if you remember, we had divided the natural vegetation under 3 broad categories, where we had seen about the forest, the grasslands, and the shrubs. So depending on the kind of temperature and rainfall that they get at different altitudinal location, the kind of vegetation also varies. Coniferous forest we find mostly between the latitudes 50 degree to 70 degree in both the hemispheres, and they are the spectacular coniferous forest which we find actually. So from the term cone it has been derived because their shape is like a cone, and they are mostly found in regions which are predominantly having snowfall throughout the year. Okay, so between the 50 degree to 70 degree northern latitudes, we usually find the taiga forest. These forests are also seen in the higher altitudes. The trees there are trees which Salima found in the Himalayas in abundance. They are tall, softwood green trees. The woods of these trees are very useful for making pulp and also used in manufacturing paper and newsprints. Okay, so when we were dealing with the tropical evergreen forest, we had seen that these forests are mainly the hardwood trees. From these forests we derive the hardwoods, okay, which are mainly used for making furnitures, and they are very expensive woods. So when we are going about dealing with the coniferous forest, we will see that they are actually the softwood trees from which we actually derive the wood pulp, and which is also used for making newsprint. Matchboxes and packing boxes are also being made from this. So what are the varieties of trees that we find here? Chir, pine, cedar, okay, silver, oak. So these are actually the natural vegetation that dominate this particular altitudinal zone. Even if you move to go to Karjang, Kalimpong in West Bengal, or you go to any higher altitudinal place very close to the mountains, you will find these kind of vegetation also. All right. Okay, now we will see about the wildlife. There we find silver fox, mink, polar bear, and etc. are very common in this region. Okay, just for your knowledge, taiga means here pure or untouched in the Russian language, or virgin forest. Okay, so taiga are the virgin forest which is dominant with coniferous trees. All right, now we are going to, after leaving the forest category, now we are moving to the grassland category, where we will see that these grasslands, we can again classify the grasslands into different categories. First is coming the tropical grassland, which occur in the either side of the equator and extend till the tropics. Okay, the vegetation grows here. The vegetation grows in this area is moderate to low amount of rainfall. They get moderate to low amount of rainfall. Thus, the grasses grow are very tall. Okay, I mentioned about savanna last day. So savanna grasslands of Africa are of this type. So elephant, zebra, Giraffe, deer, leopards are very common in tropical grassland. So tropical grassland means, from the name only you can understand that this region will be having a greater amount of temperature. Okay, so the temperature will not be moderate. Temperature is high and the tall grasses are grown here. Moving to the next category is the temperate grasslands, and they are found in the mid-latitudinal zones in the interior part of the continents. Usually grass here is short and nutritious, okay, and often it is called alfalfa. Okay, the grass here is called alfalfa. Wild buffalo, bison, antelopes are very common in this temperate region. Moving to the last category is thorny bushes. These are found in the desert-like regions. I told you the region which receives the least amount of rainfall and very scanty rainfall throughout the year, there no tall vegetation grows or no luxuriant growth can be there. So there we find these bushes. These are located on the western margins of the continent. The vegetation cover is scarce, and here because of the scanty rain and scorching heat. Okay. So we have these many desert region which falls under this category. Okay, so Atacama, then we have Patagonia, Kalahari. So these are actually located on the western fringe of the continents, and which receive this kind of a climate, which has is majorly having this kind of a climate. Okay. Now, so then we will find that if you reach the polar region, you will find the places extremely cold. The growth of natural vegetation is very limited here. Only mosses, lichens and very small shrubs are found here. It grows during the very short summer. This is called the tundra type of vegetation. So when we go up on the altitude, the temperature naturally decreases, and it's freezing cold there. So none of the vegetation could survive in that extreme climatic conditions. So mostly we call this kind of vegetation tundra vegetation. Okay, this vegetation is found in the polar areas of Europe, Asia and North America. The animals have thick fur and thick skin to protect themselves from the cold climate. Seal, walrus, musk oxen, Arctic owl, polar bear, snow foxes are some of the animals found here. When I was doing my one of the FunQ session, most of you have identified clearly and very correctly about the different animals. Okay, so purposely I kept that FunQ to let you know about the habitat of those particular animals. So not all the animals can survive in different in same kind of climatic regime like us. They also have their own habitat. So in the tundra region, we mostly find animals who have very thick skin and fur, so that it can protect themselves. It's a natural adaptation which help themselves to protect themselves from the severe cold winter months. Okay, so children, that was all about the chapter, and it is a very informative and relatable chapter, and I really hope you go through the book properly and try to connect with the concept one after the other. All right, and if you have liked the video, please like and share the video, and those who have not yet subscribed to my channel, please do so. Share it with your friends, and of course leave your comments to let me know if you have any doubts. All right, but this chapter will be very useful for you to have your basic conceptions cleared. All right.